Come on, honey, it's time for school.
But Mum, I don't feel well.
Oh, honey, you feel like you have a fever. Let me check your pupils. Oh, I know what fever this is.
Directly under the post, Liam Foran at dummy half. On to Marcus Marsh. Gives the ball out to Hasselman. Hasselman's got plenty of room to move to Schmoodle. He goes, the line, he's over!
Good footy, boys.
They had the numbers, Aberdeen. They had the score, but Schmoodle in a good dry part of the field showed great strength. And Timmy Bridget, dummy half. Long pass out the back to Jake Watts. Into Topless. Topless has found room to move! He's under the posts! Game lead! 8-6!
Great job at Thomas again. A little change in direction again. We talked about it early. A little step off the right, then the left, and straight under the pace.
Yeah, just a change of direction and pace.
The defence came up hard, Bomber, and gave Hayden Topless.
Hi Jackson, Kieran Foran here from the Bulldogs, mate. Just want to wish you all the best with your recovery. Understand you copped a pretty ugly tackle there, and you're still recovering. I'm sure you'll be right, mate. Stay positive. Keep upbeat about it. Listen to the professionals and just keep going about your work in the best way you possibly can. I'm right behind you. I'll be thinking of you, and I look forward to hearing how things have gone and how well you've progressed soon. Cheers, mate. All the best.
Well, what a way to start the show. Kieran Foran, what a legend. Benko, I'm not just saying that because his brother's here, but it's a sensational effort to reach out to the grassroots football, especially young Jackson ball. It's doing it pretty tough at the moment.
Yeah, no question. That was great by Kieran. I watched that today at work, and I thought it was sensational. And to you, Foz, for assisting Reggie in that, and that was just, and your brother, that was just brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm sure Jacko will get a lot of, he's already got a big spirit, a big heart, and I think that'll just top it all off for him. He'll do well out of that.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, Liam, and welcome to the show, of course. So, first time on the couch. Hopefully it's not the last. Hopefully we don't scare you off. But also welcome Luke Holz from Bengalla.
Thanks, Reggie.
Group 21 sponsor, and you're the old boy, aren't you? Kieran, Liam seems to know you, but not from face, from voice.
Yeah, probably just on the hill at Singer, I would say. He's probably probably heard me a little bit.
With a fair few others, probably, I dare say.
You love it down there?
Yeah, I just love my footy. I love playing everywhere. I love the support. And yeah, every now and then, I cop a fair bit on the sidelines, but that's part of country footy,
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, no, and like I said, Benko said, thanks for the help with Kieran getting that message. Jackson's a massive Bulldog supporter, and I can't repeat the words that he said, but Foz said it to me as a text message, and I sent it as a text message to Jackson, and he was blown away.
I forwarded it on to Kieran too, that thing, and he was stoked by it, mate. He's happy to help out wherever he can, and it's it's nothing for him to do something like that and see the positive input that it puts in the young kids.
He's been up a few times to watch you play too and support you with Aberdeen Tigers.
Yeah, if he can stay injury free.
He's had a bad run, hasn't he, the poor bugger?
He's copping a few injuries at the moment, but yeah, he's playing good footy when he's on the field. He's just got to keep him there,
No, and on to the last week's footy, Benko. There was only one game played. Aberdeen, the Tigers themselves, 32 defeated Greater Branxton 12 in the washout game.
They had to travel too, didn't they, the Tigers? Yeah. I did hear from a good source from the Tigers late last week that Greater Branxton wasn't 100% sure. They were thinking about just asking the group, can they just give each one a point each?
All right.
I don't think Aberdeen were thrilled with that idea. So that got squashed very quickly because, as we can see, the point score in reserve grade is just unbelievably close, and to lose 1 point wouldn't have been favourable to the Tigers.
Well, that has to update. Aberdeen are now on 15 points, of course, but that reserve grade competition, it's going to be an interesting one coming the back end of this season. We're in the last round now, so It's going to be who dares wins and who throws it all about. Your Singleton side have always been pretty competitive in that reserve grade competition. I think it was 10 years in a row, didn't they win reserve grade?
Yeah, it was something like 10. They we're struggling. They're struggling with a few numbers at the moment with injuries, but every club goes through it. But yeah, look, they're positive and they'll stay competitive in that comp.
How about Higo? Has he put the boots on this year?
Higo's had the boots on, yeah. He wears them on the sideline coaching, but too, so yeah, he's got the boots on.
Oh, well, talking about coaching from the sideline, you've got your Bengalla Badgers shirt on.
Yeah, that's it, mate. They're the premiers, mate. Current premiers
of the coal mine challenge.
Yeah, she was a fairly stacked side last year. I'll give you the tip.
Not compared to some of them, mate. There was some ex-former Knights players out there and amongst it. We've had Terence Siu in the years gone by, haven't we? Jesse Royale. You've got one of the Meerkats legends here from Canada. So it's but by all means, the Bengalla Badgers. You're very vocal on the sideline, but you do a good job coaching too, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I don't think it had much to do with the coaching, mate. I think it was boys just wanted to play. He got the message from the general manager to get out there and rip in, as he likes Bengalla to happen, and that's what they did on the day. So it was good. It
was a competitive pool too.
Yeah, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't easy on the sideline, but it wasn't that easy on the field. I don't think there was some.
I don't think Clydesdale was even inducted, and he got rounded up in the Bengalla boys.
No, he was.
Of course, I joke.
Yeah.
It was pretty close.
Yeah, 5 days on the job. I think. I was happy to see him rock up.
I think some of the boys were in young. You've got a lot of young talent out there involved with Group 21 as well. I know Jackson Anshaw's having the year off this year, but your likes of young Joby Stevens.
Yep. Yeah, look at it.
I'm just trying to think. Young Noonan, he scored a big batsman, didn't he?
Jackson Henshaw put the chip through and scored the winning try. But yeah, this year we've got probably 16 out of the 20 playing in Group 21 at the moment, so it's pretty good. It's looking good. So
you're really quietly reserved, and we spoke about off air, is that cabinet that you've got made out there at Bengalla with the shield in it, is that why it's been purposely made, it's going to stay there?
Mate, it's the expectation now.
They're at Winks odds,
they don't get it,
Reggie.
They're
at Winks odds, mate, Bengalla, no question.
I think Mangula's put in a side this year too, so it'd be interesting to see the Hagen brothers if they
come again.
Strap on the boots. I think they won it in the first ever round, so let's hope that Bengalla and Mangula draw the same pool and nail it out early on.
Has Benny played in this jumper before or what?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, right.
He's been in a few.
Won't go on about it.
No, well, that's what Greta Brankston put up there. And then, of course, there's applications out there currently for first grade captain coaches and the likes, and threw it out there to a few players saying, Andrew Nichols, mate, you haven't played at this club, go and have a run down there. So, it's all good. That's going to be a fantastic day out. And look, while we've got you and we're talking about that, thank you to Bengalla for coming on board this year with the sponsorship. Well, last year it started, but the first full season, it's been great for Group 21, and especially, wasn't a positive start with the 4 teams. There was a lot of negative
vibes
about, but it's pulled through, and these things like this to help promote the game. Hopefully, we get back up there next year.
Yeah, look, the company's excited with the opportunity to be involved. As soon as it was mentioned on site, management was on board straight away, and signed a reasonable term. And when you see who's involved and what's involved, and rounds like where there's a will and what it's doing in the community, rugby league's a pretty big part. But from all the way from Greta to Merriwater, Marundi, and we employ local, and the game's local, and we're trying to be heavily involved, and it's going good. It would be good to see 6 in first grade, but 6 or 7, and but we'll see what happens next year.
Well, I'm glad. Only murmurs behind the scenes. The Rams have tied up what's going on with them next year, so hopefully, fingers crossed, they start to build on that. You're at Aberdeen still at the moment. You remember you're in the mining industry, and it provides a lot for you. You might have the Bengalla Badgers trying to. That's going to be part of their recruitment now, I think. Do you play rugby league?
I wouldn't make the side, I don't think.
You get a spot.
Yeah, he's already sitting here thinking next year. Benko, a lot of injuries throughout the season, and now we've got a few more to add to the list. Like we said, Jackson Ball with that injury out there, and
yeah, with Demon in particular, Jossie Scrimgeours, I believe, is out for the season as well. He suffered a shoulder injury just recently, and he's gone. I'm pretty sure Gretchy is borderline. They'd probably have to make grand final for him to come back, but that's up in the air. Yeah, and there's a few boys unavailable, and the injury to Jacko was just. I think we've sort of understated how important Jacko was as a player in terms of he was playing 2 games every week. As also he took over the coaching reins at reserve grade. And we've mentioned that many times here, but Jacko is such a great utility player. He could play in any position. You know, he was playing backing up on the wing in first grade, but mate, he can slot in anywhere. Yeah. And he would have been the perfect foil to slot in at hooker for Gretchy.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's going to hurt Denman greatly.
No question. And look, there's some, I think, some minor things happening with a few other boys that we've got to sort them out with where they're travelling and how they're travelling for this weekend even.
Oh, right.
So we're just going to work. I think they're just trying to. It'll be no different to every other team. Every other team suffering the same dramas. I mean, when Aberdeen played, when Aberdeen put the towel through them here the other week, Aberdeen themselves, you guys had at least six first graders out. We counted. I did a count while we were commentating, Foz, and I think you guys had 6 out. Demon had 8 out.
Yeah.
So there's a combined total of 14 first graders that weren't even in that game. So it's certainly a loss, just injury in the wrong side of the roster.
Yeah. We've had Hoogs. Hoogs has been a big loss for us, and
Hincho.
Hincho. But it's opened up the door for a lot of blokes that been playing Reggies but never backed themselves to play first grade.
Right.
Yeah. And for me, it's been good to see these blokes come up to first grade and sort of mix it.
Yeah.
Hugh Collins has done a fantastic job.
Young kid who's going to play plenty more first grade. It's just, it's a good opportunity for boys to come through, I reckon.
I was talking to Hoogs at work today. He reckons he's going to be the difference this weekend.
He reckons
he's a red hot go. He's knocking them off up there this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be a good game for us.
Because it has been disruptive for all teams, but Singleton, 15 players out there, I think at one stage, once they finished the Singleton match at Denman, Jai Bailey told us, they've got players still to come back. We're really not going to know until the last couple of rounds, like every other year, but I think it's going to be that until all teams have their full strength back to what they will have for the finals. Jake Hardy, I don't know what the story is there. Is he injured? He's missing at the moment. Jake Smith had that hamstring injury, and whether he came back too early against Scone, they said that he seemed to be holding it a bit.
Yeah.
So
Jimmy Bradley, TJ.
Yeah. Tom Johnson's a great loss.
You're not going to bring anyone back early when there's only 4 in the comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
With your season though, with the injuries that you've had and resting players in 4-team competition, your full strength side with the Marcus Marshes and Jason Hovey's been a great addition to the side.
Yep.
To go forward, do you reckon that you will match it with that full side against Scone?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the moment we're probably sitting around 60-70%. I reckon we haven't sort of been anywhere near our best the last couple of years. That's from losing players, but also just cohesion and pre-season and things like that. It always takes a while, but I felt like the last couple of weeks we've grown as a team. Confidence is there. So this week is a perfect game for us against Scone, just to see where we sort of measure up,
Yeah, because it's their line speed, as I've said in ruck, that you just have to dominate to be competitive with them.
Yeah, Scone, I think everyone sort of knows how they play. It's pretty sort of basic, up the gut sort of thing, and having Clydesdale there has been a massive sort of thing for their team. He's just playing off the back of Ritter and blokes like that going forward. And he's sort of having a field day around the ruck. So
the ruck defence, Foz, has got to be so on their game. And when you got Clydesdale and even Daniel there, Ritter, just hunting around, and young Wixie has been outstanding as well this season.
Yeah.
They're just so good. But those first defenders and your market defenders it's not a spot for bludgeon anymore. especially the market defence is just you got to be on your game.
Yeah, you got to wrestle, like you got to get the boys on their back.
Dominate
you got to get three in a tackle, and at the moment I think a lot of teams, well the 4 teams that are in the comp are sort of, there's a couple of teams better in it than others, and that's where it's sort of opening up that gap there. There's a lot of tries, as you said, that are getting scored around that ruck because blokes aren't tying in.
It's
and
the same
numbers
as
just aren't there.
Same as when Will Newenhouse goes into dummy half, or how people don't read it. If he goes in there, he's not going to pick up someone and offload. He's going in there to run the ball, and you see the markers. They don't. There's no urgency there. Actually.
Well, he's sweating on a quick play the ball, like Foz just alluded to. Is if you have to try and in the competition, what we've seen so far this year, you've got to try and dominate that ruck, chance your hand with the referee, and try and get an extra second or 2 out of it.
Yeah.
And just go for it. But you've really got to try and, like you said, Foz, you've got to dominate and win that ruck inside your own 20.
Yeah, because once you do that, it gives you sort of the blokes around the middle enough time to go up and slide.
Yeah. And
it shuts down everything out wide. The threat, there is no threat if you win the ruck. But if you lose the ruck, it just opens up everywhere, So.
It must be frustrating at times, and I've said that during the calls, your frustration. You've been taking the ball like a front rower at times, straight up and making yards, and is that being just taken on the captaincy role now that you were like, I've got to do this, no one else is going forward, or you want to be a prop?
It's probably a little bit of both, man. It's at times in a game, I do find myself getting frustrated, but I try and inspire the boys by sort of showing them, hey, if a halfback can, hit the line at speed, why can't a front rower or a back rower do it? It's just about being competitive, like competing as a player. I've always wanted to see myself as a bloke who always competes.
Yep.
I hate losing. Everyone knows that. So if I can, go in there and sort of lead from the front, then that's what I'll do.
How much improvement do you think has Scone's got in them? Because they've set the foundations, haven't they? They've set the standards this year, Scone, and I wonder, it's a tough gig for Aaron Watts as coach and Daniel Ritter as probably his right-hand man and Clydesdale as his left-hand man to try and keep that team up at a certain level for the whole season. Their goal, there's no question, I reckon they'd be kidding themselves if they haven't thought, let's go through undefeated. They'd have to be thinking that for sure, and then I just want to know, they beat Denman 38 points to 6, I think it was a few weeks ago, and they were entitled to win by 60 that day, and Denman were decimated again, and they just struggled a couple of times to get everything right on song.
Yeah. And
I just wonder how much improvement Scone got in them. I know Watts, he wouldn't cop any less than 100% if but I just wonder, is there still another level Scone can go?
Yeah, I think
because we know, I've got no doubt Aberdeen can go higher with a full side. I know, and I'm sure Singer, you guys have been desperate. Jimmy Bradley's hardly played, a handful of games this year, and so has TJ. And I know there's potential in Denman. They've just got to get their bloody squad on the paddock, and I know that each of those other 3 teams chasing Scone can improve. There's no question in my mind. But I just wonder if there's a little question mark if Scone can go any better than they're going.
I always said at the start of the year that with Singleton, they were my team that I thought, just with the youth and what I've seen the last couple of years and sort of where they're building, I thought they're the team to watch, because every other side's got a few older players, and I thought if Singo can stay fresh and just keep growing, I thought towards the end of the season they'll be the team that'll flourish.
Yeah,
I still think that. With Scone, you've just got to match them for the full. Yeah. It's boring footy when you play Scone, and they're very good at it. If you can keep your completions high, you give yourself every chance. But it's when you switch off that 5 minutes either side of half time or 10 minutes to go that they'll sneak a try in, and then they'll get another one, and it just you just end up deflated as a side. So you've just got to stay with them and kick to the corners, be tight around the ruck, and you can give yourself every chance.
Scone have got I know Tommy Hagan here last week was talking about how close all the boys are. So if one of them falls down in a little area, I know the way Tommy was talking, they've got to answer to each other. They've got to look at each other and say, well, you know, okay, I screwed up, you know, missed a tackle, blah, blah. They've got to be. He gave us the impression that they're all accountable to each other because they're a very tight-knit group, which is a positive for Scone.
Oh, for sure. I watched that second game there where they've given Singo a bit of a touch-up in both games, but the young Singleton side kept to them for sort of the first 20, 25. Yeah. Then it was 6-0, and then all of a sudden the legs get tired, the heads start to go down a bit,
bang, bang, bang.
bang, bang, it goes like that. The game before, I didn't watch it, but it was 8-6 with 2 minutes to go at half time, and then they get a runaway try off the back of a scrum or something like that, and goes to 14-6 at half time, and it's hard to come back when you know what sort of points they've been racking up. So.
But they haven't had a bad game, as in, you know, teams have their off day, Benko and Pulsey, you guys do. They have their bad day when it's just things don't glue, where they don't stick, the bounce of the ball goes the opposite way. They haven't had a game like that. You've watched all of them.
Every time I've watched Scone in particular, that their first 15 minutes are a little bit dodgy. They're making as many mistakes as the other teams. You know, cheap possession turnovers and a couple of, you know, dodgy one-on-ones and that here and there. But then they find their niche. They seem to find a gear. I like what you said, Foz. You've just got to go with them and have that. You've got to have the same drive as them, and that may be the difference right at the end. And I don't know. I've just got a little bit of doubt in my mind, but because I know the other three sides can improve with a full squad on deck. It'll be very, very interesting come semi-final time.
I think Scone, they know that. They know that the team will stick with them for the first 15, and then they know that at some point the other teams are going to switch off. And this is my point. Like, this is what I think's been happening this year is as teams will go with them for a little bit, and then they'll make the same error a couple of times, too many, and you pay the price against Scone because they're very direct. The way they play is
their pressure
simple and direct. And it works.
Their defensive pressure is really outstanding. They leave the line so well, their line speed. And I know, I'm not sure if I've seen you guys play Scone yet, but I know they're meeting every team at the advantage line big time, and the pressure is just getting to the opposition. And they all know their roles. I think Watsy's got them on a good foundation at the moment. That each player knows their roles because they are so tight, like Tommy was saying last week. But yeah, you know, but I do hark back to what Fitzy said before the June break. That after he was very confident. You know,
but I don't think they were expecting Hughes' injury. And
that was a setback.
He's only had 11 first grade players, and you've had people back up from reserve grade. So
Hughes was definitely a setback because he's so important there to everywhere around the field.
I've just realised you're in the element today, aren't you? Because you've been banging on about him being the MVP of 21.
I don't know if Foz knows that.
Yeah, well, there you go. I just realised your question.
There's only enough room for one man crush, and I got one on Jake Travojevic. I've said for a few weeks, but
there's a jinx, Foz.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, but I haven't said it, Holtzy. I haven't said it.
Right.
Not to his face, anyway.
The MVP, every commentary call and every show we've done, it's.
I can only say what I see.
Yes, that's it. It's
Anyway.
fair observation. Fair observation.
You played every game this year, Foz?
I have, mate. Yeah. So I've pulled up with a few injuries after a lot of the games, but I try and spend a heap of time on my recovery. I do.
No, that's you.
No, I go down to Newcastle like sort of once a week, and I do a bit of walk through and the beach, and I sort of. Just because I have to, man, because this year I'm playing a lot more physical. Like, I'm just getting more sort of frustrated at times, and I'm sort of wanting to lead from the front, whether it is like a front rower or sort of just mixing it in the defensive line. So I'm enjoying it, but I am pulling up a lot more sore.
Yeah. No, it is. It's been great watching you play this year. I was going to ask the question, why this year, like the past couple of years, you played really well and your kicking game led to the premiership win. It's when you're kicking game, something I haven't seen before in this group. Is it just that you're enjoying yourself with the footy these days, or?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit more relaxed, man. I'm sort of understanding the comp a little bit more, being 2 years in.
Yeah.
A lot hasn't sort of changed. You know, you work out how teams play, and I'm enjoying.
Have you worked out the referees yet?
Yeah.
Careful.
Yes. You know what? Giving them a bit of a rap here, like they're only young and they're doing a pretty good job, man. To be fair, they're it's not easy getting out there in first grade with, you know, different sort of players coming at you and saying this and saying that, but they're handling themselves pretty well, I reckon.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head, Foz. It is a very young referees ranks we have in Group 21. You know, except for Bowdy. Maybe
he lifts the average quite a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah. But in saying that, you know, you've got all those young boys that are playing, that are doing the first grade games. Corey Martin, Nick Martin, and Jesse Rudder. Yeah. And then you've got Liam Anderson, Campbell Schmerer, Lockie Ballard. Yeah. All them young boys are doing first grade lines. Yeah. You know, and there's no doubt that I'd say in the next 2 years those boys will be stepping up. You know, and just moving up the ranks, and there's no question. Young Liam Anderson, I reckon he'll be doing first grade. I reckon he'll do a first grade game next year.
Yeah, well, without doubt. That's what I said. Jesse sat here and said 6 eyes is better than 2.
Yeah,
and that's what I've been reamming home. The touch judges need to be more involved. Yeah. Referee, he's out in the middle. He's the one with the whistle, but he needs extra support. Yeah, he can't see everything. He's watching for onside. He's watching for the ruck. The touch judges need to be wording him up a bit more. Yeah,
I totally agree. And we've had this yarn before about the referees need to be supported by their linesmen. Yeah. There's no question. There's no good standing on the sideline like a statue. Yeah. You've got to report and help him out what you see. You know.
I think that one other thing we've got to touch on too with the Singleton Club before we go to this weekend's game is the NRL Boyd Cordner, the jersey auction that he coordinated. Seeing the Singleton youngsters down there. At the game at the State of Origin, $60,000 just shy of raised. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good thing from the Blues. It's obviously Boyd led the charge there, but it's good to see him looking out in the regional rugby league area and having a look. Look, rugby league gets tarnished with some bad stories, but there's another good story that can go to the top of the list for a little while and talked about for many years, I'm sure. Family's doing it tough. And
did you put your hand up for that junket though to supervise the kids?
No, I didn't go down there with the kids.
No, you went down.
I got to the game. I got all through this year actually.
Did you? Oh right. Frequent fly points, probably with Shane Ain.
No.
Beggar.
No.
Don't get me started on Angie.
But anyway,
we've talked refs.
We've talked refs. We've done refs.
This weekend's game, Denman and Muswellbrook at Merriwa at 2 p.m. Denman versus Muswellbrook. That's in the ladies' league tag, I believe. Denman and Muswellbrook at Merriwa in reserve grade at 3, and then Merriwa versus Greta at 4:10. Bit of 3 different clubs out there on the day. Merriwa's going really well at home, especially.
What's the go with the Denman Muswellbrook game being at Merriwa?
Don't drive me into politics. Look, I'm guessing that they were. I don't think it should have been, but. Maybe it's
there's no question it shouldn't have been, Reggie. Let's call it as it is, mate. I mean, I don't see the reckoning behind Denman playing Muswellbrook at Merriwa. Yeah, but that's just me. I might be.
It might just be a referee thing.
Yeah,
Where's the junior league all in the
no idea.
For short refs, they've got to keep them all at one field, I suppose. Somehow, I don't know.
But Merriwa at home, it's going to be a long trip for Greta Brankston out there at 4:10, especially. It'd be a great bus trip home. Don't get me wrong, but. The 2 reserve grade games out there, Denman and Muswellbrook. Denman's reserve grade side now with the loss of Jackson as their captain coach, they were struggling to find their feet. The Fijians back this weekend. What's your thoughts?
Jacko does lead from the front as we spoke about. It's going to be very interesting indeed. And not knowing who's available this weekend is a big question mark. So. I mean, we just play it by ear, I think.
Mick Henry, of course, was a great loss to Muswellbrook. I said that, but that showed on the score the last time the 2 teams met, 46-6. Yeah. Merriwa were defeated. Now we've got Denman v Muswellbrook.
Yeah. Lenny Craft played halfback against the Merriwell boys the 2 weeks ago, so that was his first game back, I believe, at halfback.
Right.
He's normally a winger, but he can slot in anywhere in the halves.
He's quick.
I don't know what sort of kicking game Lenny's got, but I did speak to him down there on Saturday, and he said it's just a matter of trying to gel, and get a bit of an understanding. And I don't think Luke Cameron finished the game that day either, which would have been a major blow to the Muswellbrook boys.
Yeah.
So it will be a very good game.
I saw Luke Cameron got a few votes in the 5'8". Best 5'8" in the group at the moment.
Let's be honest about it. Muswellbrook need this win.
Yes.
They desperately need this win this weekend to try and put some pressure on the Singleton boys. It's going to be a really, really good game, a telling game, and I don't think it'll be one that they can afford to lose.
Especially with Singleton taking on Marundai.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be it. But on Sunday we've got the Aberdeen v Scone clash that I'll be covering with Josh Day up there at Aberdeen. This is the first time you pretty much got a full squad. Is everyone back? Is Marcus Marsh back?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure it's everyone's had that week off, so I can't see why.
It's coming to blessing that washout round, isn't it? Yeah.
We won't have a full team, and get a couple of good sessions through the week and hit the ground.
There's obviously got to be some changes made. With you've got Hayden Bell coming to the side. All the injuries that have been there. Hincho coming back. Tyler Wolfgang, Hamish Wolfgang, sorry. So it's going to be tough for positions at the moment, really, isn't it? Throughout that side.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What's Frenchie's availability?
He's back too.
I'm pretty sure he'd be close. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's handy.
Yeah. Tyler the Prince Campbell. I can't.
He's been outstanding.
He's been one of the best in the comp this year.
Yeah. He's tough. He competes, and he's.
Do you pick 17, or do you do like Scone with 13 and then bring 4 up?
No, 17. We pick 17.
Run 17 fresh.
Where you can.
Where we can.
Where we can. It's the last. I think, as best as I can see each time, there's not every team can afford to pick fresh reserves because there's just no one available, unfortunately.
Well, it's unheard of in first grade that these guys, like I said, just an example, go to Scone, they have a side pick, and at the morning of first grade matches, Denman's had it as well, players pulling out. It's unheard of on the morning of a game for first grade.
I know if Nemo or Gaz was still coaching us and that was happening, it wouldn't be happening. Let me tell you.
No chance.
Singleton,
I'm with you.
Singleton, of course, Aberdeen played Scone in reserve grade and so on and so forth there. And Aberdeen ladies at the moment, they've had a win, a bye, the washout, so they'll be looking for another good game. The Aberdeen ladies. Kelsey French is the name that Hoogs and that have brought up, and
going
Fitzy,
good,
so
real good.
So be up there for that early kick-off. That'll be a cracking game. Aberdeen Scone. Aberdeen Scone, 10:20 a.m. Singleton versus Denman. You've got this game down there with
Bailey Ellis.
Bailey Ellis. Yeah, Bailey Ellis is back on with us.
Yep.
What's your thoughts? What do you?
Oh, mate. Well, look, I'd love to see a Denman victory, but at this point in time, I don't know who they've got available. I know. I think Pritchard's out. He's gone back to New Zealand for a week. Scrimger and Gretschy aren't playing, so I think they're hopeful that Geordie Mulheron's back on deck. Isaac McCormick will be out until at least semi-finals with his broken hand. So it'll be, and I think Daniel Ellis. I think the 3 Ellis boys will be sweet this weekend.
Yeah.
So look, fingers crossed they can try and get some players on deck. But in saying that,
Frank Paul Nuasala.
In saying that, the Singleton boys are in the same boat. You know, if the dynamic boys that can run from dummy half, like my goodness, Will Newhouse and TJ, if they're back this weekend.
Bradley's back this weekend.
But see, they were out. Jimmy Bradley was out the last time they played down there, and Brody Rinkin ran riot.
Yeah,
he just ran amok down there.
Yeah, they haven't got a problem there with selection as well.
No.
That's 15 players, like I said, after round 3 or 4 of the competition, to have 15 players out, first grade players. Like this guy said, he thought from the start they're going to be a team to watch, and you've got the youth of Cody Argent, Morgan Emity, all chiming together. It's going to be an interesting end to the season, but look, I think Singleton, the factor being like I said, you heard him. You don't know, you haven't seen his face, but you've heard him plenty of time. It's Old Boys Day down there at Singleton.
It is Old Boys Day, yeah. We'll hopefully draw a big crowd down there and stir the Denman boys up. Would have been good to have Foz down there. We would have, Shorty and I would have been pretty vocal to him again. He'd be used to it by now, but no, we'll find a couple of jumpers in the Denman that we like and give them a bit of a talking to. They'll be fine.
The worst thing that the Denman boys can do is react.
Yeah.
You'd never react to an Old Boys
Could you
tent.
imagine being the winger on that side though, Old Boys Day? Because they're not abusive. Let's make this clear for those that aren't familiar. They're comical. The Singleton Old Boys are very comical. That they banter off each other, and it's usually sledging. If you're going to be the winger that they're going to be putting a bomb to on that Old Boys side in front of the state tent, you're going to be having nightmares.
You got to roll with it. You got to roll with it and just try and block them out.
Could you imagine that? Can you imagine that? This loud voice as the bomb's coming out. Look out! He's going to get you.
Oh, my God. I remember a couple.
That's all we say. That's it. That's where we leave.
I remember a couple of years ago, Muswellbrook had their Old Boys Day at Olympic Park, and Tommy Johnson made the crucial mistake of turning around and giving a bit of lip to the Old Boys in Muswellbrook, the Rams. Oh my God, they never let up on him.
One of the funniest blokes in rugby league, he told us he's a quality and so Schultzy, but Scotty Collins from Muswellbrook. Oh, he pulls out the one-liners and they just, I think that was the game that they actually got into young Dinky Solomon's head as well.
Oh, I can't remember, mate. All
It was pretty tough to get into Dinky's head.
But it should be a good
Shane
game.
Hay was refereeing.
Yeah, but see, he wanted the spotlight on himself. So.
Yeah, why aren't you yelling at me?
So, what are your thoughts on the Singleton Denman game?
Yeah,
Old Boys Day, it's going to be big. How many people do you expect to get there for Old Boys?
Oh, look, it'd be nice to have 300 or 400 Old Boys hanging around like locals hanging around in front of the bar and cheering them on. But look, they're having a pretty tough season. We were talking to Jai during the week. I think most of them are back. Jimmy Bradley, I don't think he's back yet, and I'm not sure about Jake Hardy. But yeah, look, Foz has touched on it. They're still a pretty young side. They've got, hopefully Frank can pull out a cracking game up front and lead the way, and then we can roll on from there. And like you say, you get Brady Rinkin, TJ, Will Newhouse,
Michael Rinkin as well.
Rinkin's just
he's a workhorse. Dale Watson. They're going to be
very crucial for Denman. Is this the last time that Denman and Singleton play?
I don't think so. You could be right. I've usually got the book with me, but
it's crucial in the fact that there's 2 points in front of them. That'll take them to 4 points, and then the remaining 4 games, I think, it'll be against Aberdeen and Scone.
Yeah, right.
So it is a big arcs for Denman if they lose this game against Singo.
And you guys have played Scone a lot this year.
A heap, yeah. I think 6 or 7 times, maybe already. So.
And not at one time have you had a full team on the field of your A class.
No. Yeah, we've struggled like everyone else with injuries, but I mean, that's footy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Roster.
And of course, Scone.
Yeah, roster.
I guess Scone's big thing, and Tulsey probably hasn't heard. You and I know they've signed Ben Hagan before the June 30 deadline, so whether Hagues puts the boots on.
Is Todd Lowry playing?
That's another one I've heard.
I think Todd Lowry had signed up as well.
So
that'll be interesting.
How do you do that though? I guess my question is, they're going to lose Radford, who's been one of their best. He's, if not their best forward. You'd replace that, but if you've got 2 coming in, if Todd Lowry, the rumours are circular, I have only heard of this man over here.
He's throwing you under the bus, man.
No, of course he has. Thanks, Reggie. so much for that.
No, I've only heard of a couple of people, but originally, I don't get to see the signings. But if they've signed that, it's going to be hard up dropping a Jakey Collison or someone like that.
You can't drop Jake Collison, mate.
Yeah.
He's been outstanding.
But you couldn't drop anyone on the bench.
No, but that's right. But I mean, it's all hearsay. Yeah. So we should wait until it actually happens.
Maybe it's just an Old Boys Day game. He's going to play like Jamie Feeney did.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But if he's only been picking 13, there's 4 spots there.
Yeah. But like I said, Jake Collison, you can't drop him coming off the bench. He's been a workhorse for him.
Yeah. I think he's been fresh, Jake Collison, hasn't he? I don't think he's been playing reserve.
No, I've seen him play a few reserve grade games. Okay. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, because Aberdeen's got their handful on this weekend against them in reserve grade. So
and that'll be a cracker again.
Yes, it most definitely will.
That's fine, but you'll get a good crowd.
Yeah, it should do it.
Good following.
yeah, no, it'll be good. Get all the locals out there and
give Scone hoops.
I guess that's the one thing. Aberdeen has had reasonable crowds, but usually that side of the hill down towards the highway usually is packed with the Aberdeen, and you hear it. I haven't really heard it this year, so I guess there's a big call to arms for the supporters and the old boys especially. Now's the time we need this.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, we want to.
No, we need all the support we can get this week. Like, it's a good opportunity for us to really try and match them this week and just see where we can, leading into the semis and stuff like that. You want to be knowing in yourself that you can give them a run for their money. So
absolutely.
We've been close for 40 minutes. Yeah. A few weeks back when we played them, I think it might have been 14 all or something at half time or something like that. But yeah, you just gotta mentally know that you can withstand the sort of challenge.
Discipline needs to be on point too.
It's no good going out there and thinking in your back of your mind, we'll just try and hold them to 30. You get your ass kicked. So I think you're spot on there.
Yeah, you've got to stay competitive. Like the ladder board's telling you that you're not going to knock them off the perch. So
that's right.
You've just got to, if you stick with them at this time, and when you get to the finals, because everyone's going to be there. That's when you've just got to be fully.
You've played everyone that many times that nothing's really going to change come grand final or semis. So you should really have a good look at every team, and by sort of grand final or semi-final, you should be able to break them down in certain areas, I reckon.
We've seen Denman with all their players, Benko. I think it's fair to say this is going to be the first round, except for Denman, that we see Singleton with nearly a full strength side. Mm-hmm. Scone full strength and Aberdeen full strength. I think it's going to be exciting. Just to give it, this weekend you need to be at Aberdeen to get a look at a glimpse of what's going to be ahead in the finals.
See, at the start of the season, I thought we went through the draw and there was only going to be one or two times, occasions where they clashed on the Sunday. I'm a bit filthy. I would have liked to have gone to the Aberdeen Scone game if it was a Saturday night run.
Oh, look, I would rather have seen it myself. Referees wise is obviously the reason, but why we aren't putting the first grade on a Saturday and Sunday, if that's the referee's reason, it's not fair enough, but I reckon we could entice them, with incentive to do that, but it'd be great to be able to have the first grade on separate days so as you can go and watch. And that's what happened at the beginning of the season, Benko. We've seen the Denman guys down at Singleton, watching Singleton and Scone and the like. So
that's a focus point for this year, but let's get 6 teams next year and you can't meet that all the time.
I know that. This year would have been ideal to do it, but I'd say you're going to have a massive crowd down there anyway, Holtzy, so...
I'd say we've got an old boys thing on Saturday night at 6:30 at the Albion. Bit of a get together for a few premiership winning sides, and a big day Sunday hopefully. And
I remember seeing Richard James rocking about reserve grade last year. He was intended to be there for ladies' league tag, but
Richard probably doesn't remember it.
But it's always a good day, and like Singleton Old Boys, I've been to a few of their events, and it's very well looked after by Neil Hassett and the team there, and Donna Clout. They're doing a fantastic job down there. So. It'll be a great event. Thanks very much for your time and coming along, and thank you to Bengalla especially. I think Benko and we've spent a bit of time with Fiona the other day, and it is paying dividends given that it's only a 14 competition, but rest assured we're doing what we can to build it back up next year, and I'm sure that we will.
Yeah, look, I think the group needs to be looking at that. We need to get that up and strong in first grade again, but I think there's a little gap in the top end of juniors too that we need to be putting a fair bit of focus in as well. Junior Rugby League, 14s, 15s, 16s, the senior clubs, I think we need to be getting back down into the junior clubs and helping them out a little bit more to keep all those young kids playing rugby league and not splitting into whatever else goes on in the world. Keep promoting this game.
Couldn't agree more.
Foz, thanks for your time. I know you're big on getting to the junior league games. Plenty of posts on social media, so that's great to see. So. And again, thank you to your brother for the opening of the show, the video for Jackson. I did send it to him as a text message, but if you can pass on your thanks, because it made his day. For a bloke that's having problems not feeling his legs and able to walk, his missus is carrying him to the bathroom and everything he's told me. So if you see his missus, she's going to be very muscly by the end of the day, because Jackson's no featherweight. So,
no, that's easy, mate. He's happy to help out wherever he can, and it's great that that he's sort of recognised it, and yeah.
Well, I think that after the grand final, because the Wednesday night we've got the presentation night, if it's a long stretch, but if he's injury free and got the time off, we might get him to come and host the footy on the couch for the grand final.
Be great.
Yep, no, sounds like a plan.
Yep. Right, who's your tip? First luck before you go.
I'll go with Fozzie's here. I'll go Aberdeen and the Mighty Red Dogs on Old Boys Day.
Yep.
Me, I'm going to go for the upset. I'm going to go Aberdeen against Scone.
Yep.
And I have to sit on the fence for the other one. I'd like to see Denman win.
Yep.
But I'd like to see Denman win. Well, the young fella plays, see Holtzy. So I still think they've got some work to do. But they need to get rid of those little 1% errors, which is really killing them at the moment. To try and get some momentum into their game. They really need some momentum.
Yeah.
But anyway,
and looking at it now, mate, Benko, before we wrap up, if it wasn't Musselbrook out of first grade, it could have been very well Denman this year.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question. Yeah. One of the sides would have suffered big time.
Yeah. So,
Reggie, just quickly, these are our new shirts, mate.
These are our new shirts,
I was wondering whether you were going to say it.
Oh, I haven't, but yeah, no, I went and got these for us just as a bit of a uniform, so as we're trying to get a bit professional semi-professional, I should say. But we want to do the right thing by the group as well, and try and promote this and get as many players. We've got a website coming as well, so it'll be all Benko at footyfever.com.au. So,
me?
Yeah.
Hang on. It's news to me.
He'll be answering all the questions. We'll have one-on-one online with Benko where he can answer all the referees' questions that you've got. So
yeah. There's an open invite to Hainsey to come on.
Shane Hayne's going to come up.
Any time. You keep saying it, but I think he's dodging us.
No, Shane Hayne will be up before the end of the year. It'd be an ideal opportunity where we might get this bloke back on the couch for a grand final
absolutely.
Show. Have Shane Hayne. I don't think that we'll actually get a seat.
Well,
I'd say he'll be laid across here.
Does Hainsey get frequent flyers to go into Scone?
He probably does.
Oh, he would.
He would.
He would, Hainsey. He'd be sniffing out a deal any opportunity you get.
Yeah.
No question, Hainsey.
He's probably not even complaining for accommodation. He'll be staying at Butts' place or something.
Oh, God.
So, no. All good. Well, once again, Benko, thanks, mate.
No worries, mate. Great day.
Again, thank you to Bengalla and yourself, Luke, and have a good day on Sunday with the old boys. And I'll see you Sunday for a cracking game, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Beautiful.
And that's it for us this week, and until next week, we'll see you on the couch.